Yo, what's up YouTube? It's JoltIanVA. Today we're going to be watching some Maxor. I don't do reactions all that much aside from the Nintendo Direct that happened last week, but I figured he uploaded and I wanted to try something new for a change. I don't typically do reaction content. I'm very much in the gamer side of things. But this should be fun. I've not watched this before. I'm looking forward to it. Maxor is a funny dude. And also epilepsy warning just in case he doesn't mention it himself, because his videos are very fast paced. So just give me that disclaimer ahead of time. Also spoilers for Baldur's Gate 3. If you've not finished the game, he's gonna go over the entirety of the game. The only exposure I had was the first couple of seconds, and he does state that. So that's as much as I've seen. So without further ado, let's jump into it. I don't know how long this will be. First time doing reaction. Let's see what he's cooked up in his deranged lab.
This video is going to spoil the entire game. Baldur's Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made.
It's actually very low. Hang on. Alright, take two.
This video is going to spoil the entire game. Baldur's Gate 3 is possibly the funniest game ever made. And I do not think it actually intends to be, because it's actually trying to be really gay.
Yo, facts. Everyone wants to romance you in that game, but I also really like that. Alright, let's...
Taking place in a fantasy world where 4 adult friends are able to play on the same day. This game faithfully and hilariously recreates the D&D experience, all the way down to watching your friends paint the entire ground of their camp with your combustible blood, which turns out can act as the fuse for a bomb.
There's no way. I've never tried that. I've never tried that at Baldur's Gate before. Alright, that's my next run. It's gonna be Dark Age Bloodmancy or something.
And that is just the beginning of the absolute insanity that this game has to offer. Because in the world of Baldur's Gate, anything is possible, and everything is determined via dice roll. And yes, that does determine whether or not you're going to be transformed into cats 4 turns before the building explodes. I think this is the best game ever made, and I'm not even...
This is the... Sorry, I don't want to keep interrupting, and I won't, but this is the most zoomer, like, type editing, and it tickles my brain. So if you hear me laughing or chuckling out of nowhere, yeah, it tickles me.
Exaggerating. But before beginning our amazing adventures, we have to choose our characters very carefully. We've got Asterion, the Dark Urge, Squid Game Huggy Wuggy, all the customization you can think of for my human male fighter. But today, we're going to be playing as Ongyat Rizking, a they-them wild magic sorcerer with absolutely unnatural charisma. Charisma so powerful that I convinced a boss to kill his minions, to kill his dog, to kill himself. Then convinced him to join me against the forces of Satan 30 hours after I sent him to hell. Coincidentally, Ongyat Rizking is not a smart man. My playthrough was classified as...
Fucking Ongyat Rizking, holy crap. Alright.
As morally ambiguous, because I usually did the right thing very badly. You're probably wondering right about now, Maxor, why are you speaking to a sentient rat in hell? That is a good question with a very bad answer. I thought it would be really funny to sell my soul to Lucifer and then break into his house, kill his incubus that he uses to have sex with himself, steal my soul back along with everything worth money, which is the real reason that I'm here. Make a break for it just in time to get caught and be forced to kill Satan, who, by the way, has 666 HP and sings about how he's going to kill you like a Disney villain. Was this the ethical course of action? Maybe, but in retrospect, I did not think I would get caught. So, on top of his immaculate riz and dubious ethical success, the most important detail of Ongyat Rizking is that he is a wild magic sorcerer, which is definitely a class to choose.
Oh, wild magic is insane. I've played D&D before Baldur's Gate came out, and like I've not touched wild magic simply because of how scary that shit is. Because the premise of wild magic is this. Honestly, this picture sums it up quite nicely. If you cast a spell, you could get any kind of side effect to it. So, for instance, this dude Maxor casted a spell and turned the dude into a sheep. But like, there's a spell. Yo, Otto, how's it going? Yeah, there's a spell. Or, sorry, a spell effect that if you cast a spell, you could turn yourself into a potted plant in D&D. So, like, it's actually literally wild. It's literally the name of the subclass. It's insane.
Imagine for a moment that you and your 20 allies are trying to push past a narrow corridor when me and the fellas cast a swarm of bees, black tentacles, and a goopy fart cloud, which kills your entire team before you are able to see anything. I call this strategy the fucked up hentai. Now, if that was to hypothetically happen, you would...
God, I just realized Maxor is so, like, insane with these types of games that he's gonna min-max every... Wait, what's that? So long, Gen Z, from now on. I call you Gen H. Oh, Jesus. Alright, moving on.
Theoretically accuse me of a lot of bullshit, to which I would respond with, yes, officer, I did just disintegrate that child. And what's more, I have committed crimes you can't even charge me for.
Oh, no.
Say hello to the spell Feign Death, which works by placing your allies into a coma. This, I would argue, is not a very useful spell. But if I were to say, give all my money away to a lucky merchant, then...
Oh, actually, I forgot to change something on my Twitch channel. Give me a sec. Worms is the video. Alright, we're good. We're back.
He would trust me enough to initiate nap time, and after carefully concealing my presence in a conspicuous dark blob, I will be able to steal my money back plus interest.
I can't, like, in games like this, and I see other players doing it where they do the most brain dead stuff or like do the most efficient stuff, but it's like even slightly morally like gray. I'm like, no, I can't. In games like Baldur's Gate, I very much lean towards the good side of things. The only time I actually kind of lean towards, I wouldn't say evil, but like more of like the ruthless, aggressive side, has been Mass Effect, like the Mass Effect series. Because I only recently did a Renegade playthrough a couple of years ago. I was Paragon the entire time I played that game. So yeah, like even stuff like this, I'm like, I can't. I feel bad. I just feel bad. It's like, bro, it's just a video game. Just steal their money. Think of it as Grand Theft Auto, okay? You're just taking what's yours, right? Like, oh god, okay.
And what's more, I get a fucking discount next time I show up.
The way he was
Is
spinning.
combat requiring just a little too much thought? Are you perhaps getting tired of taking any damage? Then, my friend, look no further than the Globe of Invulnerability, which does exactly what you think it does a little too well. The only caveat being that the invulnerability happens to work on enemies, and they tend to see invulnerability.
I was gonna say, I wonder why I've never seen that spell before, but yeah, okay.
As an advantage, meaning literally every fight that I use it in devolves into the funny friendship circle. Say, for instance, that you were an enemy whose entire purpose is to explode yourself.
Oh my god.
If you happen to wander into the Orb of Comedy, you would be forced to unsuccessfully activate your bomb vest 20 times in a row, hoping and praying for a death that I cannot provide you. Honestly, if you're creative enough, you don't even have to play most combat encounters. I once fought a boss that began every fight by instantly killing me.
Oh
now,
my
most
god.
normal people in this situation would reload the game, try some other quests, literally anything that...
Wait, go back. Go back, go save files. Where's is the save file? Hang on.
Instantly killing me. Now, most normal people in this situation would reload the game.
Based. I figured that's what I saw, but I wasn't sure. It went by so quick. Alright, moving on.
Try some other quests. Literally anything that uses your brain. But I am not normal people.
Truly.
I'm autistic. How else do you think this video gets made? The neurotypicals couldn't do this shit. So instead, we are going to cleverly sneak up on him with my entire party, then cast fear on him, forcing the men to flee while me and the fellows beat him to death with hammers. Oh, wow. Another time, I was stuck in a difficult combat encounter with a invincible doom spider, at which point I transformed him into a more reasonable animal and forgot about him for the rest of the fight.
Wild magic, dude.
Of course, magic doesn't always have to be used for combat or stealing. Sometimes it can be used for productive things, like remote detonation. Imagine for a moment that you were tasked...
Oh, I'm sorry. I did that a little bit differently when on my first playthrough. I had Will in the party and he has Eldritch Blast. And what you can do is if you get Repelling Blast, you can hit him off the throne into the cliff next to him. The only problem is you don't get any of the loot, but that's the way I did it the first time around.
With solving a murder because the elephant police are being racist.
Oh,
not against non-elephants, mind you. just immigrants. My guy is a reactionary ranch soda. You would be able to quickly resolve this situation by performing necromancy and asking the murder victim who killed them. Alternatively, if I wanted to say kill everyone in the goblin camp without conventional methods, I could simply cast Speak with Animals and gently convince the local spiders to begin an arachnid race war. In fact, you can use this on any animal in the game, including threatening rats into revealing their cheese location, or the cat that narrates like a noir detective. Although I do think it is very strange that I don't have to cast it before speaking to gnomes.
Oh my god,
but honestly, out of all the magical items you can obtain in this game, my favorite was definitely the Gamer Sup's energy drinks, because it gives my character enough energy to leap 50 feet through the air and take extra actions per turn. It gets mailed to you as this cool alchemy powder so you can save on gold and craft it into useful consumables. Gamer Sup's has all kinds of cool spells, like Grandpa's Ashes, Guacamole Gamer...
No way there's not gonna be a mod for it after this. Just you wait.
Part 9000, and my personal favorite, Lean. These are actual flavor names. We're also working on getting you guys an official Maxor cup.
Oh, sick.
This is not the official Maxor cup. I would put boobs on it. But if you want other cups with boobs on them, you can find the shop for them here in...
You guys can't see it, but mine does have boobs on it. The one that I bought, of course. I don't have nearly enough clout to have a sponsorship from Gamer Subs.
Description Alley, right next to the subscribe store. And use code Maxor for 10% off all spells. I am not responsible for what comes after.
Gamer Subs. Fuck.
Spells.
Just fuck. Alright. Fair enough.
I am not responsible for what comes after.
Dear God. That's terrifying. Winter Baltimore. Oh my god.
Dude, this car kicks ass, and I can watch Madagascar while I'm driving.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, no, everyone has kicked that. At least I haven't. I've not kicked the squirrel. I promise. Okay, trust me, bro. Everyone I've seen has kicked the squirrel.
Just saw a wizarding duel outside Walgreens.
Also, quick props to the to putting Xenoblade music in the background. That's extra points for me.
One wizard cast a bullet at the other and stole his magical herbs.
Oh god,
Turns out
he killed
wasn't
Gale?
actually a crip.
Okay.
Or maybe now he is. Wizarding life truly is amazing out here in Pennsylvania. Because when you join the Wild Magic Gang, you aren't just making a character. You're making a mistake.
Yeah.
Wild Magic sorcerers have a random chance to select an effect from a list of 100. As long as you install the mod that adds 80.
Oh dear god. Yeah, so he basically went over. So he uses mods. But he also is going over basically what I explained earlier, so yeah.
Every spell my character cast was a guarantee that something will happen. Oh my god. And whether or not I wanted that to happen is a different story entirely.
Yeah.
Consider the scenario that you and your heroic party are desperately trying to escape an underwater prison. And no, this time it wasn't for bestiality.
Oh god.
It was for hate crimes.
Oh
you
god.
have 5 turns to escape before your character reenacts the Titanic.
Oh,
this is when you make the critical mistake of casting a spell, which triggers the random effect of lock all doors, magically transforming this exploding prison into an exploding coffin. That is a reload.
That's insane. Is that modded? Because I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the actual effects of base wild magic. Oh, that's one thing as well I forgot to mention. Barbarians can get wild magic as well. Like, that's a subclass they have. I don't know, I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head, but you can get a barbarian that casts a random spell, I think, after each hit. Like, successful hit. It's insane, the customization in D&D. And Baldur's Gate just, like uses it to its advantage. Uses it to its advantage very well.
Or how about the time that I was tasked with holding onto a torch under penalty of death?
Oh my god.
The game decided that it would be really funny if I was banished to another dimension, because it would be even funnier if I happened to reload the game and immediately get petrified.
Oh
okay,
god,
look,
no.
I am exaggerating a little bit here. After all, the chances of you transforming into an ovine on your 3rd try would be pretty low. Of course, wild magic doesn't always have to ruin the game. Sometimes it can do really helpful things, like permanently inflict my character with the clown curse.
Oh no.
Which is, by every metric, an objective upgrade. I had an emotional cutscene after I got this, and I'm sure it made everyone feel better.
Oh,
Here we have the fight with the giant robot, where I accidentally tried—
I'm really hoping that he wasn't a complete ass to the crew. I'd feel so bad, like, talking bad to Karlak or any of the, like, characters in the game. Oh, you couldn't.
Form myself into a cheese wheel. This gives us all kinds of new abilities, like cheesy smell, which would be really good if the robots could smell. Now, due to the obvious limitations of my class, Baldur's Gate 3 provides a myriad of options for customization, leveling, and companions, who, by the way, can be respec'd into any other class, making strategies like the 4-man gambling squad and Jurassic Park completely possible, but not exactly viable. Personally, I find it completely bullshit that I do not get an intimidation bonus for walking into the bank with 3 fucking velociraptors.
That's fair. No, I feared he was gonna have 4 wild magic sorcerers. Oh dear, no. Please, no.
Like, do you see this very often? So, to get at the true heart of the Baldur's Gate 3 experience, we have to make some friends, and eventually have sex with most of them. Honestly, it's pretty easy to forget that this game has combat.
Yeah, there's also a polyamory mod as well now. I don't know how well it works, because, yeah, but that's a thing. For people who want robots, literally every character in the game. That's up to you.
Personally, though, I didn't get with any of them.
Oh, wow.
Mostly because I can't show it, but also because I was interested in a more acquired taste.
Oh,
That's right, baby. Gay sex with Squidward. I always dreamed of touching those Squidward tentacles as I played his clarinet. Also, if you don't have sex with them—
Oh my god, he did the thing. Oh my god. I mean, hey, it's up to him. That's what he did.
Anyone human, the camp skeleton just insults you for having no bitches.
Oh my god.
Thus thou art alone.
Oh.
Shadowheart.
I've never tried hitting on Withers, so I've never gotten that outcome. Oh my god, he just basically he destroys you.
More affectionately referred to as
Shart,
is a cleric of Shar that I spent the entire game gaslighting into a religious fundamentalist. Then, as soon as that became slightly inconvenient, beat her to death with my entire party so badly that I could not revive the body for round 2.
Oh,
now,
wow.
Shadowheart could have survived if I actually trusted her, but unfortunately, she is a white woman. And I don't trust those.
Oh my
Gale
god.
is an aggressively bisexual wizard with a nuclear bomb inside of his chest.
Shadow Wizard Buddy Gang.
Wants me to feed it boots.
Of course. We gotta put the Shadow Wizard Buddy Gang reference in there somewhere, right?
Now, Gale claims this is because of his relationship with an actual goddess, but I don't believe him. Not because that's completely insane, but because I've seen how Gale behaves around me.
Wait, hang on. No, there's no way he actually put a gun mod in the game, did he? First of all, that's fucking that screenshot is actually so hilarious. Hang on, right, go back. Wait, let me see that again.
I don't believe him. Not because that's—
Oh my god, I think that's edited in, but it looked so much like a gun I got scared.
completely insane, but because I've seen how Gale behaves around me.
Yeah.
This motherfucker is gay. And since I've covered all this game's wacky and funny spells, I decided that I was going to respec Gale into a barbarian and give him a gun.
Oh my
this
god, it is a gun.
But he is not out of shells. Will is a daring and noble warlock who is constantly told what to do and treated like a dog by a demon girl.
Yes.
So I don't understand why he doesn't enjoy that. This game's writing is unrealistic. Lae'zel is a Githyanki fighter who, within 3 seconds of speaking to her, made me decide that yes, I am going to do a racist character today.
Oh no.
And over the course of our adventure, Lae'zel surprised and shocked me by never failing to prove my racism correct. Asterion is a... Sorry, I forgot I installed that mod.
Oh my god. That's so fucking cursed. Oh my god, I can't look away. Oh my god, why? Why does he look like that? Oh my god.
Asterion is a devilishly handsome rogue that specializes in giving enemies the devious backshots. This is mostly because Asterion happens to be a literal vampire, which becomes relevant when I sacrifice 7,000 children to him to create the ultimate life form.
Oh, nice shadow reference.
I promise the scene isn't gay. Unfortunately, this did basically nothing, as Asterion proceeded to walk down the hall and get his ass beat to death with hammers, because out of all the abilities our sacrifice could have given us, Asterion had graciously received the power to continue being useless.
Oh my god.
Though, to be fair to Asterion, no ultimate vampire twink is going to kill 5 full-blood Texans on their 5th Medema level. And Karlach is a very hot barbarian that I use throughout the game as a punching bag. One time, Karlach got so mad that she randomly destroyed every box in a 10-meter radius, repeatedly setting the entire party on fire until we fucking died.
Yeah, that same thing happened. I managed to escape it in my first playthrough. My second playthrough, where I had, I think it was Karlach at the time, because I was doing her companion quest. I think Gale and I think Astarion was who I had. And I couldn't get out of the house in time, so Gale died, and I triggered his cutscene. Sorry, I was dormant for a bit. No problem. We're finished with Final Fantasy. We're just watching Maxor's new vid. So for those that are new coming in, epilepsy warning just in case, because his editing is insanely quick-paced. So just give it a heads up ahead of time. I gave it ahead of the time, but yeah. Well, what was I saying? Basically, because Karlach lights that whole house on fire, Gale died, and I triggered his cutscene when, if he initially dies, like, oh, it is very imperative that you res me. It's very early game if you get it. And sometimes you might even go through it. But yeah, no, like, that annoyed the crap out of me, because I think Astarion went down, but I was able to res him. Gale straight up died, and Karlach was still going on a rampage in the house. Karlach's wife, though, let's be real. So, I can forgive it.
It was at this moment I decided that Karlach was going to be the one to disarm every trap in the game for
Oh
me.
my god.
Make sure to grab the treasures, Karlach. With our powers combined, we are the world's shittiest polycule.
Oh god. Oh,
We're
yeah.
having so much fun without Shadowheart.
Oh,
so, as the
Shadowheart.
world's shittiest polycule, it naturally falls to us to combat the forces of Big Straight and stop the Squidward ethnostate. Mostly by accident, because if there's one thing that motivates me more than protecting my potential investments,
Nice.
it is stealing from them.
Yep.
Yes, sir. It is certainly bad if the only
what's that guy that's similar to Maxor, but rather than having Lolly, he just looks like what an African soldier, maybe South African, called himself Seth. Oh, Seth, Zentige or Zintak, or I think I know who you're talking about. I'm not familiar with their work though, but yeah.
bank in the city gets robbed. But don't worry.
The only thing, sorry, I didn't mean to keep pausing, but the only thing that keeps the mind is, because I watched Russian Badger as well. Love that dude, he's great. But he made a reference to that person, and it was like, just like punching someone in the dark is a victimless crime. It's Maxor and Crack. How? I've seen Maxor's vids. I've been watching him for a while now. Oh, I might have to check him out at some stage. This is my first time like reacting to stuff, so I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We might do more reactions later down the line.
I've conducted a thorough investigation in my camp, and I have found no evidence of wrongdoing.
Oh my
Quests in Baldur's Gate 3 are, for lack of a better term, fucking insane, both in their scope and in content.
Oh my god.
Mostly the content, with multiple contingencies for failure, partial success, or the classic unrestricted Japanese war crimes. Truly,
no.
The sky is the limit in Baldur's Gate, and the only thing preventing you from achieving your dreams are the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
If, for instance, you were to ride the calamari carousel,
I'll
a
think of
future
that.
character will
Maybe do
roast
what you
you for
want.
your crimes against God. In front of your friends. Your choices matter in Baldur's Gate 3. One time, I decided to visit the circus so I could piss off the local genie so badly that he sends me to Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But that's not important right now. Exploring the non-insane part of the circus, we find ourselves enraptured by the performance of Dribbles the Clown. The only problem being that while investigating a series of murders by shapeshifters, I had already met Dribbles the Clown, and I was carrying his severed torso in my inventory. Safekeeping. So,
Yeah, because that's what we all need, right? That's what we need a bag of holding for, right? I've watched Backstory 2 and it's all cracked. Maybe even on... or maybe even on... Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, fair enough. I might have to check about them.
despite knowing the identity of my gang stalkers, I decided to send Asterion to the stage anyways. Mainly because I thought it would be funny. And I was not disappointed. This guy should open a YouTube channel where he promotes an energy drink he intentionally poisons. Now, you're gonna want to be careful after doing this quest, because unbeknownst to you, one of your crewmates has been replaced by an imposter.
Yeah.
And worst of all, I am kind of into this. Can you shapeshift yourself pregnant?
What?
So, whether you know it or not, you are going
I swear, it's so unhinged. It's so unhinged. It's insane. I'm like, you can't even process what he's saying before he or after he says it. It takes like a good solid minute to sit in, but even then he moves on to the next thing. Madness.
Going to be playing Among Us for the next 10 hours.
Yeah.
And honestly, playing as the imposter is so much more fun.
Oh.
Which is why, instead of stopping the killings, I decided that I was going to do them myself.
Oh,
and
God.
eventually join the blood cult by bathing in the blood of the racist elephant to bring about a new future of crimson despair.
Oh, no.
Shapeshifters are usually multiracial, by definition.
Oh, I didn't know he picked darker. He didn't specify that at the start, I don't think. Unless I missed it. Whoops.
What I'm trying to say with these long anecdotes is that you never just go to the circus in this game, or God forbid, speak to a clown.
Yeah.
Though you are watching this YouTube video, which is close.
Repost if you want to nail a porcupine.
I did not react. I did not react to this video to get roasted. Oh my God. All right.
To your neighbor's balls.
Give me the thug shaker, dude. Shake your ass. Take your hands off it and shake that shit.
What is going on? Oh.
Welcome to the first major dungeon of the game, appropriately named Central London. And like the actual London, it is unfortunately filled with the English. You can really tell because you can't understand anyone and the food is inedible. It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do almost anything. And an unlucky developer...
I've never tried that before. I didn't know you could do that.
It is here that Baldur's Gate really shines as a game where you can do...
That's so sick. I never even thought to do that. I figured because it was part of the geometry, it would just kind of stay there. I never checked. Something to do on another playthrough. That's awesome.
Almost anything, and an unlucky developer will be forced to code it. There are 3 targets for you to kill in the Goblin Camp, or if you're bad enough, several dozen, each with their own personalities, weaknesses, and premium cheese strategies. Needless to say, this channel is not going to offer you any good advice.
True.
After all, there's a lot of guide videos for this game alongside race tier lists. So while I'm not going to be sorting you by phenotype, what I can give you is a taste of the premium cheddar. Okay, so you're gonna want to start out by going invisible and placing a wyvern toxin into the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Then lead a toast by declaring that we are going to drink until we die.
Yep.
Make sure that Asterion is the one to do it, by the way. We don't need him anymore. Heading inside.
Oh my God. That Asterion mod is fucking cursed, though. Holy crap.
We take care of our first target by following her to a secluded location, summoning a cloud of daggers, and then initiating verbal exchange, locking her into our conversation while she is slowly stabbed to death.
Oh,
this
that's cool.
isn't considered a crime, by the way, because, well, they could just walk out.
Yeah.
Just don't hit a piece of wood while you're doing that, because then you're not going to be killed for assault. You're going to be killed for destruction of property. The next trick we're going to do is called Minthara's Skip, because we are going to be summoning a random spectator to skip to the end of Minthara's life. Just pray to God that she doesn't go down easily, because the spectator certainly won't. Finally, we have our third target, Dror Razglin, who is slightly hard to kill the conventional way. So,
dude, this was annoying to fight one-on-one. That's why I did the will strat I mentioned, where I just shoved him off a cliff with Eldritch Blast. Like, I did it legit the second time, but the first time I was like, nah, I can't do it with this dude. And I'm playing on, like, balanced difficulty, I think, as well. I don't play on the easiest one. Well, I'm not going to play on the hardest one either, because I appreciate my sanity for as long as I have it, so yeah.
So instead of that, we're going to do something significantly harder. I know, really original strategy.
Oh, not again!
They're so fucking funny, they make me want to...
Welcome to the Underdark, home of the, spectator boss fight. Because yes, in addition to having a giant underground area filled with interesting flora and fauna, Baldur's Gate 3 dares to ask the question of, what if people in the Underdark had a different skin color to me? And completely unrelated to that, what if there was a lot of slavery? Because it is this very slavery that we are going to take advantage of. Immediately upon entering the world's basement, you're gonna want to head over to the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're gonna get a letter telling you that the princess is now a permanent guest at one of Bowser's 7 Koopa hotels. Talking to the giant mushroom, you're gonna have to explain to him how reanimating the bodies of dead velociraptors is technically not a war crime.
Oh my God.
But what I'm going to use them for is definitely a war crime.
Yeah.
And after playing a game of Pokemon with the
another instance of me not doing this, because you can, like, have a whole army of... You can literally have a whole army of the Myconids, using like his necromancy stuff. And it's like insane. I'm very much straightforward when I'm playing this game. I'm very much shoot thing with arrow, or spell, or whack with sword. I've not tried. I'm not nearly as creative as I should be in terms of this game. But after a couple of playthroughs, yeah, I want to try some stuff out. That's wild.
Is that your enemies reanimated, we steal their boats and progress down the river towards the iron fortress of Grimforge.
Yes,
This place fucking sucks dick. I'm gonna kill myself. Welcome to Grimforge, home to many different kinds of people, whether they're enslaved or enslaving. You really only have two options here in the Grimforge. Eavesdropping in on the local Minecraft Let's Play. We overhear rumors of an ancient and powerful explosive, which will purchase my child labor at least 30 minutes of Roblox time. After gently ascertaining the location from their bodies, we carefully confiscate the nuclear weapon using a refined negotiation tactic where I lie to them. Now equipped with the most powerful bomb in the game, we are presented with a choice. We can either use this bomb to help the gnome slaves finally achieve their freedom, or we can use it to kill Jor Rasglin. So, going back to the goblin camp, we discover through some experimentation that Jor Rasglin doesn't actually die to the bomb that I just...
I've never thought of that though, because I suppose it's still in Act 1. It's still technically Act 1. It's not Act 2 until you get to the Shadow Curse lands. Huh. Yeah, you don't even use it to like help the gnomes out. You just go back to the previous boss that you should have taken care of before you even go near the Grimforge. Damn.
Placed. So, into the hole you go, I guess. And that is how you quickly and efficiently speedrun the goblin camp. Make sure to subscribe for more convenient time saves.
Peter, what are you doing? Crowd. What the fuck?
What's with the Family Guy?
The point
Oh my
I'm trying
god.
to get across, really badly, is that this game is utterly massive, and it absolutely does not stop you from destroying it. Because in Baldur's Gate 3, every single mistake you can possibly make is going to come up again. And most of the time, it is in the form of racial conflict. For instance, do you want to be a good Samaritan and free the Deep Gnomes from their unjust imprisonment? Well, congratulations. You just happened to free the Deep Gnome clan's Grand Wizard. Hope you're ready for a race war in 20 hours. Because if you happen to misplace a certain bomb, then he's going to happen to make Hiroshima look like a fucking joke.
Oh my god, I don't even remember that. It's been a while since I played Baldur's Gate. Holy crap. Like a lot of it, because I was kind of like, I wouldn't say rushing to the end, but I was trying to like get to the end because I didn't want to keep it on the back burner for so long. Damn, I don't remember that.
Personally, this kind of stuff is the funniest shit I've ever seen. Not the racism part, although that is still funny, but rather the simple joy of knowing that your save file has probably already been destroyed without you even knowing it. Since beginning the long process of making this video, I have made a multiplayer warlock named Risley Bear, alongside my friends Reese and Nomer Simpson. And after playing for approximately 10 minutes, I can confirm that my first character inadvertently killed almost everyone he spoke to, and about half the time, the reverse was true. A good example of this is the time that I just so happened to wander my character into a literal god, who then offered me a pivotal and important quest, prompting me to raise the reasonable inquiry that if she was a god, surely she would be able to kill anyone she wanted. She responded by fucking vaporizing me. Overall, this is in every sense of the word.
There's a trick to that. I'm not going to spoil what the trick is. If you pay attention, if you know the D&D, if you know like the spells from D&D, the way it was phrased, not very godly. I will say that much, but I'm not going to spoil. Let's continue.
A role-playing game, provided of course you want to roleplay as a dumbass murder goblin. Otherwise, why do you even play video games? We blow shit up in this motherfucker. Better take your sensitive ass back to LinkedIn.
Bro, I need to play Helldivers 2. I've been seeing it so often. I need to play it at some stage. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I want to see if I can maybe get a squad together and play it.
Scores of amazing and deep content that I unintentionally locked myself out of because we accidentally killed a man named Bingus Bongus.
Oh god.
Ripped to a fucking real one. Strategic and complicated combat. And an entire world of possibilities and solutions, which will leave you wondering, how the fuck
the bloody sheep
am I allowed
again
to do this? Is this a glitch or intended behavior?
I don't know.
Yes. So, while I didn't get to cover everything since,
I'm pretty sure that's been patched since then. I don't think you can throw that particular boss off the cliff anymore. I think he just teleports back up, like using magic. Or I think it's a flight spell. Oh no, I can't remember, but I think that part was patched. So unfortunately, you can't do that now.
I am only human. You can trust me when I say that there is something in this game for everybody.
Yeah.
10 out of 10. Would unleash Gnome Hitler again.
Oh,
For me,
God.
though, I would like to thank all of my amazing patrons, using and sacrificing
Nick
their
music.
funding for only the finest of video
Oh
game
my
content.
God.
As always, more deranged gacha game videos to come. I will be sure to spend all of your money very responsibly. Oh yeah, this video is about Baldur's Gate 3.
It is about Baldur's Gate 3. Holy crap, dude. Once again, Maxor puts out a fucking banger. Because of course he does. That was insane. That was awesome. That was a very awesome video. This is the reason why I didn't want to watch it by myself. I wanted to share it on stream. That's... I think, like, out of all the videos I've seen him make, I think some of his Elden Ring videos are my favorite, but this is very good. I really like this a lot, especially because, like, having played Baldur's Gate, it's like, of course I want to watch this. Maxor of Baldur's Gate, the sheer comedy of that game alone, absolutely. Count me in. But for those watching on YouTube, I hope you all enjoyed. Thank you all for tuning in. And we might do some more reactions in the future. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, and good night. And I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.